Yeah, Semboha. Now, yan to many so and I pay. Mamika say, Medican Bonkai said, the show is fully packed. There are interviews upon interviews. No, Mamika's young upon more China. Or China Chi, a Friday. There is going to be a cooking competition. Oh, a happy night, FM. A man for Median and when you have Baba Jim so Median. But me, the champion culinary expert. Menameti a drummer. There's a Mijina ha, Obiani Median and no skills. One won't taste me jollof than not just a no guy level no way. But Nyankupon Dumo Friday, Ebekoso, as a way of we commemorating a World Men's Day. Yebe was the forecourt of Happy 98.9 FM. But anopay, my main Kyle, and a World Diabetes Day. Now, as part of a year, yesterday was a World Diabetes Day. Now, as part of your commemorating the day, you know, you need kakra emfa about a year diabetes and home situation. Sani ye kano mimi. The biaya busa doctors ni say ampeni ampa situation no ye situation ampa as udi situation ene de yade no eba na ase bibi fufuro ene de ba. We'll have a conversation around that very shortly on the show. But CBG say men kantra will say bomodia sinkete CBG semen kancho se sinkete na fasika to ho mo amunya ska na mo di twama num spede de no CBG semen kancho se bomoden sinkete se odi sika ne bi beto ho eje se dan dan nyina na ukuta the mantra se oh wanyi wani e wa asase so hemfa biu e na abaji wani no da bi sansem na ye jaika sansem no aye jaika sinkete fa sika ne bi to ho sika no de bi to ase de no na me ka kire wo no to de bi anya wa nkwanti na odi sika no eto nemu metoda da chimanti e na odi sika no bi den eto ho nti bomode na fa sika no bi eto ho odi to ho no na boa ose de bia betimi anya nsi achi ba mpofrimu a bibi eto wa obetimi anya bibi de akwa akoso ano mo amoye ma adwene se sika kakra beto mo nsam a na ne yemfa entwaye no mu nko a yemfa ncheche ne yemfa ntu kwan yemfa ntu anamonko ba bi foforo nko tena ho ne yenwi wi a ne aba abeda no mesere mo nsesa ma adwene na sinkite so this can be ebeto CBG semi fasa ensem wode enfamre wona no pay. Quick one, let me get to your messages before we start the conversation with Dr. Rex Kwame Bonso, a physician specialist at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And also here the representative of a Diabetes Endocrine Metabolic Society of Ghana. Idiniso. But in a doc about betenasi, we will have a bit of conversation around diabetes. Now quite a fast so bit me hunu. Diabetes crowd or my prevalence rate at the same. Yet the war, anasi and fango, anaso basa, see so an ababefa. Open so who win now, but more than can stay with us live on the Happy Morning Show this morning. Now, you see a dear kakra. But some of the messages are Mode Abba and Anna Pay Kofi Ajiman Blackman. Good morning going out to you. Bertrand Ni J Kraku. Good morning going out to you. Emmanuel M. Awule. Good morning going out to you. Yemfan Chiankoma Kwame Van S. Good morning going out to you. Kwame Van S always watches us from South Africa. Mami fan Chiankoma Michael Adute Nasco Fufu Kofi Ajiman Blackman Piaga Joseph Bediakon, Ken Farouk, Kofi Jerome. Ken Farouk, I say good morning, Sefah Danquah. Good morning going out to you. Mame Fancha M. Fankoma, a year Kofi Jerome, say good morning, Ghana, President Nana Danquah Kufuado will greet you. Ken Farouk said, I don't expect to hear anything different from today's budget statement. It will be same talk, empty promises that we've been served with for the past 7 years. Of clueless leadership. 2024 should come quickly, so we sack them from the Jubilee House. Cry. Joseph Bediakon, greetings to you, my brother. Good morning going out to you again. Ora Joseph Bediakon, Bertrand Ni J Kraku, aka Papa J. Greetings from Tamanu Town. We are solidly united behind our leader, flag bearer, Dr. Mahamoud Baumia, and together we shall work hard to break the 8-year cycle jinx in 2024. A glorious birthday to Matt. In Prem, God bless and guide his steps. Joseph Amwa Belavajin, good morning going out to you. I say good morning, Sefah. Sefah, once happy morning is happy morning. I'm watching you live from Jobeka Services, Lejikuku constituency. Teshi Demo, greetings to my lovely family. Michael Ladutosi, good morning, watching you live from a J. Kojo, Tema West. Nasco Fufuosi, Oforiata will deliver a hotel budget today to enjoy Christmas well. Happy Christmas to lawyer Dr. Dixon Osei SCB, United States of Kissaman, Emmanuel Emawule and Awo. Good morning, Sefah and Fati, Shaibu-Ali. If anything should change in this budget, it all because of next year's election. Kofi Ajiman Blackman is watching you from Pig Farm. We'll bet me Ajiman live on our Facebook stream. In our comment section, with me, Jaho Piaga Piaga. Say good morning, Sefah. Good morning, going out to you. In the background, Oti and Yumua a free kwabena ho. Now I'm saying kwabena is part of Omombe thrilling to good music. Come 1st of December 2023 at the Grand Arena, Accra International Conference Center. A African Legends Night. Unju ticket abu modiana ko ticket GCC gidi. Doc ababa tana the answer here in Vancouver channel. If you have any question to ask on Ayenkoma Ebetu channel on diabetes, obitimi ediaba ene anopay doc etnasi awatanasi there. Once one of December the beba obitimi ebusa doc Dr. Rex Kwame Bonsu. A physician specialist, Kolibu Teaching Hospital, representative of DEMSOC, a diabetes endocrine metabolic Society of Ghana. Doc, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I hope everything is well.
Yeah, everything is well.
Doc, yesterday we commemorated World Diabetes Day.
Yep.
For us, for some of us, we're not even paying attention to some of these things. And we have to be frank. What was the theme, or what is the theme for this year's World Diabetes Day celebration?
So the theme for this year's World Diabetes Day is access to diabetes care. And the focus really is to educate or do some intensive education for our health professionals and also empower our patients who are living with diabetes with the right information so that they can be able to live a normal life. Yeah, so that's basically the theme for the focus as well.
Okay, so I know that as organizations and associations, you may have activities that you would embark on to ensure that this particular theme is achieved. Are there any specific or are there any specified activities that for example, DEMSOC will be embarking on?
So yes, yesterday was World Diabetes Day, and as part of the education, yesterday DEMSOC actually launched the very first national diabetes guidelines, which is supposed to streamline the way in which diagnosis is made and then the kind of care that diabetic patients really require. On Friday, some stakeholders would also be meeting at Holiday Inn. There will be a continuous professional discussion, some CPD, what we call a CPD, to actually educate the public as well as the health professionals, and that will be streamed online on Zoom. Also, we'll climax this week-long celebration with a walk up the Bree Mountains as well, and that will be happening on Saturday, 6 a.m. sharp.
So activities are lined up for Friday and Saturday.
Yes, and yesterday
there was the official launch of the diabetes guidelines.
National diabetes.
Was it that we never had a national diabetes guideline prior to yesterday's launch?
So officially, prior to yesterday's launch, there are several protocols that are being used to manage diabetes across the nation. From the teaching hospitals to the other mini clinics as well as the districts. But it's always essential to have one manual that streamlines the diagnosis, recognizing the symptoms, diagnosis, and then appropriate referral. So this is just sort of streamlining everything, so that if you're in the district as a health professional, when you find these patients or you diagnose these patients, what steps are you supposed to put in place before you refer to other facilities for specialized care?
Okay, so we had the protocols, but we had not consolidated it yet.
Exactly.
Now it is fully consolidated.
Exactly.
And when you happen to go to all of the health facilities that we have in the country, these guidelines, if you're diagnosed, will tell us what to do, or will tell health professionals in those institutions as to what to do.
Exactly.
That's nice, but somebody will ask, why should we be concerned about diabetes this early morning on the Happy Morning Show? Why I thought should a lot of people who are listening to us right now be concerned about diabetes?
Okay, thank you for that question. So, most of the time we hear about communicable diseases, so things like malaria, pneumonia, and all of that. Yeah. But over the past decade and over the past years, we've seen a high rise in non-communicable diseases. I'm sure you've heard a lot about hypertension.
Yes.
Diabetes is also one of the non-communicable diseases. Now, if you are looking at the prevalence, really, in Ghana, a meta-analysis was conducted quite recently, and we realized that the prevalence had been pegged at 6.46%, which is quite alarming, okay?
6.46% of the total population of Ghana.
Of the population of the adults.
Okay,
so
of the population of the adults.
Those between 20 to 79 years.
Okay.
And if you are comparing this globally it's estimated that there are about 500 million people currently living with diabetes, okay? And that will form about a little bit over 10% of the population of the 20 to 79-year-olds in the world, okay? And there are estimates and predictions that these numbers are going to actually rise.
Right.
So, I mean, an estimate at 2030, okay, that is going to rise to about 600 million, which will go a little bit about 11%. And then by 2045, it's going to go to about 11%. That will be around 700 million. The other interesting thing about the prevalence and the burden of the disease is that it's also estimated that over 240 million people are actually living with diabetes and are undiagnosed. They don't even know they are living with diabetes.
240 million people globally are living with diabetes.
Exactly. And they don't even know. You see, so they've not been diagnosed. They are just living their life.
So the estimate could be more.
Even more. And the other interesting thing about this figure is that over 90% of this estimate will be residing in low and middle income countries, of which Ghana is a part. So that's the reason why DEMSOC have decided to celebrate this World Diabetes Day over a 1-week period.
Okay.
And we are taking steps to help curb this problem.
Now, after talking about the statistics, let's get to the illness itself. How does one develop diabetes? How does one get diagnosed with the condition that you are now diabetic?
Okay. So before you are diagnosed with diabetes, you are supposed to, the patient will certainly show certain signs and symptoms. But the very first question we really need to talk about is what diabetes really is. Okay? And when you started, you were saying it's a sugar problem. So the real definition is that diabetes is a disorder or a disease where there's persistently high levels of glucose or sugar in your blood. And this is as a result of a hormone called insulin, which is either not produced in good quantities or it's in good quantities but it's not acting well. And now with this, there's a consequent dysfunction in how the body breaks down lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins as well. Okay, yeah. Most people some may not have any symptoms when they are pre-diabetic or when it is now starting. But most of the common symptoms that we are likely to have patients come in with is patients who pass large volumes of urine, okay, and are very, very thirsty. Other patients will also come and there's an increased appetite, so they eat a lot, what we call polyphagia. Others too would come with unexplained weight loss. I'm sure you would have heard of individuals who would say they've gotten a wound or a cut and it's not healing well.
Yes.
That may be an indication that this person has diabetes.
Well, so in case you're listening to us, Uti and pay na and someone Dr. Rex Kwame Bunsu Bobo Bosui, particularly with you be out Taquaya Sabia, you'll be out here now swatting tentem, you be over here Hanasis to come do with brew, you'll be or ha Jones ultimate Jones, giddy, would you know who I want to say? Also to me quire Sabia, Miko Humo, say Ampany Ampano, when you're a citriere in Bina, and Trimo, dear man, say. Ye was it be a wo moja mo a friend glucose. Na sa sitiri no wo moja mo a friend glucose no. E ye homo bi wo moja mo a friend insulin. Wono e no regulate me boa. So say ye kase wonya sitiri ade a there are two things. It's either say e ye sa honam akwa insuo no wo widie mu no e ye homo no entimi regulate e ye sugar no wo moja mu no e ye sitiri no wo moja mu no entimi regulate ni ye. Either say why what me produce bi ebi wo ho na emum said ye be ya esikyire ni betimi ewura widie mu ade ne dwuma yie no ntimi ne dwuma yie anase ebi wo ho a wontimi produce bi kura na wontimi nya bi kura nti se ye ka se wonya sikyire yade a na ne nkyire mu kakra no na doka me yete ase se obo micron Ghana mu a ase said the diabetes anase sikyire yade edokora manfo no ofa empanyimfo awmo omadi be mfie aduno ekopem aduosun enkon so no a na kamia ise ohamu entichemu ensia de na womu ewo yade ni bi ewo mamu yade a na chese anu aden ewo se itimi etwa yani ehwe na nanka enkane no na yewo eye akwan ahodo a okwa yaresabia na ebia ye diagnose se wonya GI bia ye de efa so eni no enra enam dem sokso womu etimi ede eye entotoe aba betudwa ama sese no baby abefa bia na yaresabia bia beko bia no ye guideline ba ko pene da ho nti ye diagnose se wonya eye sitiriyade ni bia anesifo ni adokitafo mu nyina mu kwan a womu ede obefa so se de be ye bitimi aboa ama yetimi treat wo but doc yemra me question that I asked regarding how does one develop it.
Okay. So in terms of development, we'll look at it from several angles. I rather talk about risk factors.
Okay.
What actually predisposes you
somebody to be diabetic.
Diabetes.
Okay.
And from one angle, we look at it as modifiable risk factors and non-modifiable risk factors.
Okay.
Modifiable risk factors now, risk factors that we can do something about, we have control over.
Okay.
One of it is smoking. Okay, so smoking is a known risk factor for diabetes. Hypertension in itself is a risk factor for diabetes. Obesity, okay, is also a risk factor for diabetes. As well as something we probably don't really consider much, extreme stress. So stress is, data now shows stress is one of those things that can actually also predispose you to diabetes, okay? And then if we look at the non-modifiable risk factors now, non-modifiable risk factors would talk about the age, the ethnicity of the patient. As you are aging, the risk becomes more and more. And then certain ethnic groups, I mean, we don't have too much data in Ghana,
Okay.
but worldwide, we know African Americans are more likely to develop diabetes, Asian Americans and Hispanics, and as compared to their white counterparts, okay? And then some family history, okay? We know, say, particularly for both type 1 and type 2 diabetes, once you have a first-degree relative who has diabetes, the likelihood of you getting it is way higher than the normal population, okay? And then...
So once you've had somebody in your family line...
Yes.
Who has had diabetes before or who has been diagnosed as diabetic,
yes,
there is a higher propensity of you within that line also being diagnosed
exactly
with diabetes.
With diabetes as well.
Okay.
And then...
so can we say that is hereditary? I mean,
yes,
you can inherit it from your line.
Yes. So that's what we would say the genetic associations of diabetes, okay? And then we'll talk about our pregnant women as well. You can develop diabetes during pregnancy, what we call gestational diabetes. So if you've had a history of gestational diabetes, you may go on to become a diabetic later in the future as well. So these are the main risk factors of what predisposes you to develop diabetes.
But I mean, when you develop it, is it manageable?
Yes, it is manageable. That's a beautiful thing about any problem. if there are solutions to that problem. So yes, diabetes is manageable. The first thing is that once you have these symptoms, you don't stay at home. You visit the nearest hospital. Your doctor would take you through some physical examinations. Then we have some blood tests that we do. I'm sure most people would have heard that we say we'll do some fasting sugar for you, okay? Or we'll check some sugar after 2 hours after eating, okay? So we look at all of these things and then we make the diagnosis. When we make the diagnosis, it's two arms. Remember, I made mention of modifiable risk factors earlier on. So it means if you are watching your weight, okay, you have your ideal weight. If you are eating properly, not refined foods, a lot of sugar and the like. If you're also exercising, sedentary lifestyle is one of the risk factors that may predispose you. If you're able to quit smoking, reduce your alcohol consumptions, all of these will fall under the lifestyle-related interventions that you can put in place.
Okay.
Now, we also have medications that we can actually give you. And for that one, we have oral medications that we can give you. Or for some patients, we may actually give you the insulin that your body is unable to produce. And most of the time, once these things are done well, we're able to manage the patient well.
The doc can we say pretty simple. The ebema will be etumi enya diabetes no. Or say you near ye bitimi asachiremu any one near intumi insachiremu. Near me way and some way bitimi ayo. Any near me Indian somewhere. Enya di bitimi ayo honshe. The all can say we will be a what I enum cigarette. Mbwa. We will be a what I tenet baby for aqua mbwa. We will be a stress a war swa mbwa. Not as a bit me predisposed. You said a bit me diabetes nibi. And a bill document yet as I say, and near my any and somewhere into me honshe. Unini. Any a year family line history wo mu se obi anya diabetes wo mu da na se obi anya diabetes e wo mu eda e na bio e bia ethnicity anaze obobre ye mfa nso ye bruni anaze oye bibini a ba nhwemu am ye hunu se abifo no are more predisposed to diabetes than abrofo no but doc me musa edidiemu aka ho ana because said na wo ka say unni processed foods in the keka because if you're in Ghana now, you cannot run away from processed foods.
Yeah.
What do we do?
That's true. And you see, once we are becoming an industrialized nation, we would also begin to do what industrialized nations are already doing. So we become more busier. We are likely to patronize fast foods. We are likely to package quick foods.
Yeah.
So that we'll be able to get in something whilst we become economically active. And so with our diabetic patients themselves, nutritionist role is very, very key because even when you have diabetes, once you are able to watch your diet well, the diabetes is better controlled.
Okay.
Okay.
So diet is very critical.
Very critical. Into what we would say is when we are even managing our diabetic patients now, you see multidisciplinary approach. It is not only the physician or the diabetologist in Kwane Sheno. Nutritionist has a role to play. We also teach them foot care. Nisa normal way inti. Examine foot ni ade. Even for patients for one reason or the other, they lose their limb. We have structures in place to give them another limb so that they can be useful in society. In terms of the role of diet in the I mean, you cannot overemphasize it. And for those individuals, you have that family history. And you have to also pay attention to your diet. So refined foods, a lot of carbohydrates. Our foods have a lot of oil in there, less vegetables, you see. So all of these things comes together to increase our risk of developing.
How do we prevent it? How do we prevent it?
Yes.
How do we not even? So, for example, the factor of our hereditary, we know that we cannot control it.
Yeah.
The factor of our age, we know that we cannot control it. But if somebody is at the age of 20 and we would want to prevent being having diabetes or being diagnosed with diabetes, what do we need to do?
So the first thing will be the lifestyle-related changes, okay? And as I made mention, you have to be exercising, okay? we would say 30 minutes of brisk walking per day is good enough for your heart.
30 minutes.
30 minutes of brisk walking
a
day. So it's not the casual, you are walking side by side with friends and then just chatting, no sweating, and then you call that one physical activity. It has to be, you have to exert yourself.
Somebody is a culprit.
You need to exert yourself. And then, as I made mention earlier on, the diet is also crucial, okay? And then if you are staying away from smoking, both primary and secondary smoking, so you may not directly be the one smoking, but you probably may be an environment where smoking is going on. Yeah, it's going on. And then watch your weight as well. Now, the interesting thing is that once you are watching your diet, your weight will certainly be where it's supposed to be, okay? So it's typically the lifestyle-related issues. That's why when I started, I said, this is a non-communicable disease. It's not like malaria, where if you control the mosquito, breeding of the mosquito, you know that you are not going to have it, okay? This one has to do with lifestyle. And so once you are living a healthy lifestyle, even if you have that genetic predisposition or that familial tendency, you are likely not to develop it early enough, okay? But this year, the focus is to try and then educate the public so that they get to know the signs and symptoms that would send them to hospital, and also to empower the health professionals so that they would also have enough information to be able to pick these patients well and then diagnose them early so that the complications associated with that is reduced.
And that's what DEMSOG has been doing?
And that's what DEMSOG has been doing.
Doc, let me thank you very much this morning for making it into our studios and educating us on diabetes. Minim say TF Yafana Sopam Yadi Ebidi Juma. Dr. Rex Kwame Bonsu is a physician specialist at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, representative of DEMSOG, Diabetes Endocrine Metabolic Society of Ghana. Doc, any final words?
Yeah, so the final words I have now is make sure you are taking care of yourself. Don't decide that I won't go to hospital because I'm not sick. So you need to screen. Most of the time, the family history is very necessary. And so you need to know what runs through your family. You need to get screened and be sure you are not diabetic. And if for my patients or patients worldwide, especially Ghanaian patients who are living with diabetes, there's appropriate care for you, okay? So live healthy and let's stop diabetes. Thank you for having me in the studio.
Thank you for coming to Dr. Rex Kwame Bonsu. Is a physician specialist, Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Doc, thank you once again. And happy morning to you. Evans Dunn, and good morning going out to you. Yenche Homreche Hoba and Command Yakana Division. Mammy Cow say for the Sanford and Friata Air Comrade Fee, Eddie Omea Kohomba, Sem Air Quaco Tuja, Ebidi and no Honkomo, Yene, organizations and associations are. A boom more on their expectations for a year and somewhere for to some folk and Friata, Ebeka, and as Obedana D, Ewo May, Akoma Bohu, and some Emuno, Yane, Womu, ABD, and Como Sound so now so, or Wakonya so bit me at Wadney, and a assassin medican beside say, who would GDA be set input 2024. Akoma Bohun Samuel for some for the Bukako to Jano at the end Satraya Sronko, Ebi Ebebagana for Assassinamo and Azagana for Brabum, Ewon Fimpim, any Dununa no more. Obey me Edward Gentreno, Edja, Facebook live stream, comment section, Ujo Hamakin Kind, Eddie Ama Etifo, any for entry home return home bar, yet Twasso near Trincomo, Afa, a year the 2024 budget presentation, Ebecoso, or much of your fear.
A bank that supports you. A bank that cares for you, hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive, CBG will make you smile. We will
Wonim say happy mass wedding na ye share with TV so na no. Eya real. Afi 2024 de na mkwaso ba.
Oh, Adana Debia will jam assume with happy mass wedding. Uni baby, from your tree.
Me don't be a see. Share and friendship no ma many what champina wa sham ya wadia hope bono. D for the baby. Just imagine. Some white gown. Na me kita flowers. Na me to me baku walking down the aisle. Tan tan tan.
Hey, man, white wedding. Abna ma kachira wim pembe bre. Se me bob wesikano na me dia kwa koto Danquah siena. Ewo kroma se je be ya. Obia betimi aka waze. Me nya krado se be kwa koye wedding kakaka bia o.
It we know how pa. We know how pa. Happy FM offer wedding package. Ye betimi ya ware na wasan so atoa wo dansie no so.
Hey za. Ene ma me nwene ho kakra.
Chamano. Hey, chama bia chama.
Oh, me dey jawa sem ne se de oba betumi kwa no. Kwa me ne be fa so a. Ye betimi di ho akwa akose Happy FM Valentine Mass wedding no mu.
Oh, eye koko kra. Ye betimi afre Happy FM aginchechemu ekwachire. E wa homa iso 0244 906 235 and I say 0302 254 858. Ye betimi so akọ omudanim e wo asylum down here ko pick it forms.
Hey, any of you Happy FM Mass wedding in there. Enya fedia gro crowd.
Happy Mass wedding. It's a wedding on another level. Don't
Mr. and Mrs. The man praise the Lord. Hey, Pastor. Hallelujah. The treasure de who sit temu here. Then we be only according to our future.
Hey, Pastor, if we say me kunu fa me do CB men's capsules. Na me so me no ma de CB women's capsules a. What try no? Eni ja be fie pa.
Praise God, praise God.
CB men's capsules. Abesa me mpem mreye. Ene me dwunso mu yale. Ene oba ne so na ho kika na wo fom no. Ene na yase a aya na ye ne ya na fichi krobre mu no. CB women's capsules abeyi ni nyina firi so.
Maye ka me si mi dada mu nti. Me rapon ya na obefie.
Nka me nkwan.
CB men and women capsules. Susie Herbal Center Ghana man me madam ase apemfo abatan wo mo manufo ne mofra wo ni fie dumienu nka ho. Our pharmacies chemical and herbal shops nyina mu. Etufo frɛ Susie Herbal Center 0247 11 16 71. After 0246 57 87 50.
CB men and women capsules.
Ubadu so feel. Hey, you also. Ebdi ahwehwe edwadie nkratoe mu agye atom.
2026 FIFA World Cup. Canada, United States, and in Mexico, and a host the tricycle and I'm quite so. Ghana Bichibiana, World Cup qualifies no shots here. I will Kumasi Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Yankupaya Duma Fiade, November Bosom Nedetosu, a do Enson. Ghana ne Madagascar, Eddie Bueni, Nafi, Bibiade Dana Kwema Tuesday, November Bosom Nedetosu, Edionoba, November 21. Ghana at Comoros, I will Moroni Sports Stadium, no Machianya. I can't see me in Nano Sharon, so Ghana's number one sports station. Happy 98.9. At the live commentary at bedtime. Nafi Shannon so see social media handles nina the live update bebremo at Happy 989 FM. Nemo YouTube a Happy TV. Kwan bia so it's a Ghana World Cup nibi. Tia kaimi anu idie a ka fadoma tutale madusta.
Yamamwachio ni Yamamwakwaba. Eba Happy Morning Show so ewo Happy 98.9 FM.
Happy 98.9 FM and Wasuguswa Utieno Jumadieno. We've entered a year the final lap. Na Ghana Revenue Authority say men kantremo mo amojije a year withholding taxes on their behalf. Say on the 15th of November 2023 a yeda e wasemutimi diska majije guhono mode eba the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Na yesemen kantremo say withholding taxes including withholding on VAT deducted from suppliers operating the VAT standard rate scheme, employment payment for supply or use of goods, payment for the supply of any works, payment for the supply of services, and all other withheld taxes for October 2023 are due by Wednesday. And Amino say, also to me, Edisi Kano Ajiji on behalf of the Ghana Revenue Authority at the Echo 15th of November, and they also to me, Ediko. Yasmin Kyle say you must submit hard and soft copies of schedules indicating gross amount, the deducted tax, names of taxpayers, and tin or Ghana card PIN from whom the taxes were withheld. Taxpayers are also to note that in line with GRA's cashless policy, both check and cash payments should be made at any of the 23 designated banks, the Ghana.gov platform, or via the USSD code *222#. We also encourage taxpayers to file their returns online via www.taxpayersportal.com. Please note that failure to pay the tax by due date attracts an interest of 125% of the statutory rate compounded monthly on the outstanding tax. Please also note that third-party checks require 2 days to clear. GRA can be reached via email info@gra.gov.gh and our WhatsApp number 0552 992 000 and our 0200 631 664. Ghana Revenue Authority, integrity, fairness, and service. Al-Haji Vision Eye Herbal Clinic se menkayo se neifa woyade koda na nyina fa bedan wo na wo mo aye krado se wo betimi ama ayarehwe soronko ama wo ho atowo wo ene yare wo cataracts, glaucoma, wo mo ewo enro a wo de bema wo woyade no ebetimi afiri ho akokra. We obi a empaso agro cheze wuntimi nni mpaso agro yie. We obi a low sperm count, infertility problems, prostate cancer, high blood pressure, any de keke ka ho nyina. Bomodin fa ho to Al-Haji Vision Eye Herbal Clinic so se umbetimi asa oyare anase aso oyare na no de amount. Bomodin na hwe kira kwan. Al-Haji Vision Eye Herbal Clinic yewo kokomlemle opposite Rex Hotel close to Joy and Adom FM. Obetimi afrain and the telephone numbers is now near D in Gita home 0242 812 426 0242 812 426 and 0502 187 178. Al-Haji Vision Herbal Clinic. Say no to sickness. Vena mineral water. Ena mekan for ediamount and anopay. Inti se anopay wunumu insio dia. Bomoding na kope Vena mineral water nanom. Na Vena nkwa. Ena because of our innovative series of ultra filtration processes. Inti insio no emu edda hokrojin. Efi biara enimu. Na inti wono mu a na chese ewura wo widie mu wura honama kwa no mu atimi adidwuma sene se na efata ekanfo nsuo yi edema yempanyimfo emofra apemfo maamefo a wo mamofra nufo ayarefo nsuo a mekanfo de ama wo eye Vena mineral water ade ba kunie eye ade a Ghana Medical Association age Vena mineral water atumu. Sanso ena it has been certified by ISO and HACCP, ensuring that it adheres to strict guidelines for quality control. Na adia bakwa ema Vena mineral water esan danso ebiu ye charitable missions a ye kro anase ye yo na ye yisika kakra to ensu abetu bia no na ye de akwa akobo afoforo binumu a womo nso womo eho eko ahoyehia mu. With every bottle of Vena you purchase, you are contributing towards changing someone's life. Intinum Vena mineral water eneya. Chana shito bakwa enei ofa Ghana afana nyina obia eka ho asemo. Eye chana shito. Se wonye wodi atie. Onye wodi a bomodin a ene chana shito eni ingita ho sisi ana jewde. na mami mbisa se wope nia yede monko agumu no wope de yede nantwinam agumu no wope de yede emre anase keta school girls ni school boys agum vrade nyankopon trade ope chana shito trade ope sisia and your food will get tastier. You bet me deliver the amount sisia ya you new kase ya friend 30 for home so 0244 448180 0240 974461 na oko social media abefun tintan kese akwankwan nuase a ye wo ho uhwen a obetumi ehunu ye na oni yen adi eye inkita ho Mamen Kyle say happy 98.9 FM esan say ye modern ba ye boninti National Communications Awards womo are nominating for a number of awards na me amembo so emfanchere etiefo ne ayfo na mo na betimi aboa yen amayetimi edin nim na yede abasobodie we nyina abaha na yetimi ababeda na die ama happy 98.9 FM etiefo ne ahwefo nyina. Happy Morning Show Radio Program of the Year ya nominating Happy FM Radio Station of the Year ya nominating Happy Sports Show of the Year ya nominating Mercy B Radio Show Producer of the Year ya nominating no Ekwesika Rising Star Media and Radio Show Host of the Year ya nominating no na isan se mo dane dan nyina muta ye chiri na mo boa yen ma nia ye di dwumadie bia ye di bia ECPC tanenti mo moa yen ma intimi emphasize awards nyina from Happy 98.9 FM kwa ya mefasa obetimi avotu edi ama yen enie obetimi akọ vote.nationalcommunicationsawards.com nationalcommunicationsawards.com na obetimi dial star 920 star 114 hash star 920 star 114 hash and now I follow prompt no na me pacho select 5008 to vote for Happy 98.9 FM as the radio program of the year and now select 1205 to vote for Happy FM to win Radio Station of the Year award. Sounds on a bit to me a vote obetimi select 1507 to vote for Happy Sports to win the Sports Show of the Year award. Select 1105 to vote for Mercy B to win the Radio Show Producer of the Year and 2007 to vote for Ekwesika as Rising Star Media Personality of the Year and 7007 vote for Ekwesika as Radio Show Host of the Year. Misramo momo de anamon to abayimai na nkunimdi ni nyina emra ya afa na yen na na di entraman for say a Happy 98.9 FM dan de nyina ye boy abaso ne sum ye tiefo ne Ghana fo nyina esumpa mamen kai wo say adodo de ba ko a ene ye di bedi rapapa Fati Shaibu-Ali ni birthday no eye Angel Drinks ejinam ne de a tint of locally brewed drinks ni bi dia ka ho asana ene eye asana ne die we kure onumi kura me refi sisi ai de onumi we kure friend say sobolo ne de enu bi sinchen ne de Angel Drinks nso sinchen otiasia na Angel Drinks na hodo bebre ne de beba Angel Cola, Angel Orange, Angel Mango, Angel Peach, Angel Apple Lime ni nyina ejinamu de ne nyankopon do mafiada ha be the rough lie wallahi talai but modern na free Danquah Soft Drinks Beverages Limited na ni omo eni nkita ho na to be ekokoton 0244832286 and 0507878668 mamenka o say adodo de ubetimi ediama obi biara ebetimi anom nkoda mpanyimfo obi abetimi anom Angel Drinks taste like our day no munsupa baako awake purified drinking water na mekan form wo na awake de eyinsu a obi a edi ehu adanse na odi hu adanse de a na je yinsu a wonom a eboa wo ewohoro widie no mu ema widie ne timi etoso kama na de ye de kra ne se wonom awake purified drinking water no na osamboa ame piska kra de akọ Kolebu Cardiothoracic Center na yedi akwa akọboa yenuanom wo ho akọ aho kiremu yɛde aboa yɛde asɔm yɛre happy 98.9 FM na waso kuso atin dwumadi no ɛyɛ happy morning show yɛbɛkɔ mrahye bedwafie na yɛne yɛ correspondent a ɛnɛ a yɛdi nkɔmmɔ ya no patututu a yɛdi nkɔmmɔ yi wɔn ayɛ krado na wɔn ɛwɔ hɔ na yɛbusa wɔn sɛdeɛ ɛhɔ ɛteɛ yɛnkɔ na yɛnhyɛ nkɔmmɔ twitwa na sɛ onia mame wɔkye ɛmo akɔ aba na megyiri apom deɛ bɔkɔ deɛ megyiri sɛ ɛhɔ bɔkɔ deɛ na ɛkɔ so as we speak now adama
said the engine name, said Ghana as minister. The Bama Shebe Germana, Amaya Comma Sika home up in the Bone. The Dikura Fia Remuno, but then one man, Bob Abbott, to Na Ghana for Amaya Anamun to Butu Pasa, or they are home Masika, Bayer Juba. Na the iron that also. Say she woman else say bia yi bi film di bi ka ho a nyina no so o de ato man nanim abra ne omanfo na msiefo a from na shipita ko no aisha na mbe say de me no ka say de ka say u ba na shipita ha de wu na ye central for do no a ba we tim pidi de di medie no sha se a eja ibenya bi ne de aka de ache organa for na omunso ehu yesi wo mra she bedwam ezi ya me no ka se nyada obetimi aka se bia mra she bedwam ba bia ana se obi wa ha wo anitia se idruza be india obi a boabo na abalemu anum central for wo ha media house na hodo from technicians one more sound no me ade kusi light microphones no me ade to a they tintin to the breso na se mashibi afo no bana abampani fo so bana mo de munsam ai ba be ai budget no e bitimi amamamfo echi they also mashibi
As we speak now, the Ahokika on the part of Yembra Shabujafono and Sheda and the Isan say Obian Sheda and Maho.
When she said, dear, in Sheda, in her case, a Vina no watch it. Abo Apa home, Minimizia, my Yan she said, the one here said, if you are not open in Kakla, go home with no Mashabujafona and Casano. And the extra man said them 300 year Juma. Ye and run adreno. You know, and Tiana Pratt, whom are the edited Jibiana and Shada and Shad Denton. But Yegusu, a watch and Yemu train, Ubia Unity, and as a person as a Umbabe Yojuma. Aja, Yabajin to me here, Magana, for I be a woman.
In Central for more about dumping one or more hockey canoe at the same.
Oh, when they were lit, it is Ubia Pete Oye na Aja, the baby and Sabeka. They won't come in how many comes the Happy FM will be the first media house. Or more Amane, but who be no more muting Timo Mumfidi, a bit Happy FM and a dinkai, a case. Or more dinkan here, Juma will be happy. Maybe I just want to Happy FM. With a Yana Homawa. Aja, it's in Coach with internet by and media houses are hanging on or do you do yet the now be at yet. You do say I would be at yet. You mount the can of so. We are at the trip for the Omodia, a 4 years, one or some bobo as I be. You didn't cry the one over Casset. A woman some studio in the baby. Any breath of our name na ko you also studio dia ba hakran chine nyinam kania e dey Happy FM I technicians e ba ha no pa no koma apre aye adwuma pa aye krado dey man bobro ma
na je sa ho boabo anu an egusu ewo mu ne yentwen ne yenhwe ani mu se mrahye bujafo no baba betimi aduru ho na womo nso won adwenkyera womo wo ewo enne fotosanfo kanforiata ne nsem wo de baka kotudwa ewo mrahye bujafie no ya tibi Reynolds adwuma me no wase se ebra no ye besan ba won champion ne mama menka etiefo se se ye wie dwumadie ya yade a oko Facebook live yebedi enkomo pi ewo ho esan se yakwa set up ewo parliament Mrachibija fie amene ye be transmitted live from Mrachibija fie live on Facebook budget reading for example owura kanofuriata be kom Mrachibija fie ne na wode oman akohomabo ho nsem akotudwa de be koso obia no oko Facebook happy 98.9 FM a yade a yede ensem e be koso ewo Mrachibija fie bia na yede betudwa ediama etiefo ene ahwefo ene edei woso adwenkyere is welcomed say dem di kan busaye no ene mpese mete eye ahwefo mo hwen live on Facebook no enka na we expect in this budget finance minister edebeko akotudwa ewo Mrachibija fie no eno aye hyase edi nkoma na ye kasa efa oman yadesua ensem ho na empanyifo eni mu edi nkomo no kamia yese ase womuni awrechemu mapa anasa awrechemu kese biara se bibi biara ebetimi asachira anase ebesesa ewo enne ensemu a fotosanfo kenfuriata edebeko akotudwa ewo Mrachibija fie no wonso wadwenkyere ewo nsem ahodo binumu no eno ene ede he obetimi ede aba Facebook live ena meka mahunu se amanfo binom asase womo frefre na mamenka o se dem di kan se de bekoso bia no yade a yede ebetudwa Fati eno aye hyase free education yehu education dia ekoso ha amanfo gidia ensheda enimu se enema betimi asachira within the education sector migidi se media budget yede bebetu dwa ensemu a fotosanfo kenfuriata ebrobrusuo binum one district one factory Ghana integrated aluminium industry plan insurance for womodwuma say as a result of COVID-19 you start national unemployment insurance ni de keke ka ho education ni de keke ho nyina wabrobrusuo are we to expect anything different this time around?
Sefah, it is quite difficult to talk about that. I think Endra and I'm saying Kofa a year 2023 budget, I was trying to make na say no ECG4 so on my imagine so omoni
ebe no correct
omudundum light and
basa
minya low battery na me dia me pese me ye ene se me hwe a year 2023 budget no emu na ene me hwe enuoma omokae ewo budget ni mu kai say how much they are going to spend on what and which sector and all that what projects they are focusing on there na anka mahwe which of those things I will budget ni mu a omo anye because I am very sure say the building of schools and the trees and schools that are deplorable no ekopiem wo budget bi mu eventually no the number of buildings and asset structures also musi omensi and you know if omo ebo sika eto say this is how much you are going to use or spend on this particular project and it's captured in the budget now omo to me anya do they come back and mention same amount same project in a new budget and that was what I was seeking to see say and young people were homo kan 2023 omuntu menye 2024 na be say abepie mu budget ni mu in what form omo maye na upgrade and update and I say then enebe budget ni mu and I said they are still going to go back to say the schools and say we are building 5,000 schools and all that will it be the same and I saw take 30 no if you know the balance and all that was what I was seeking to do but unfortunately no ECG in there to me in this side a lot of expectations that were hono minimum dear as I said yesterday I really do not have any expectations because they say and we do on mine if you when you manage your expectations wow but one thing I can say for sure is say I will be surprised if new taxes and levies are introduced. However, no, I doubt if omo ebeka say tax bi or omate so ana omo ye free honum. So that's just what I don't want to know. I don't know if I would call that expectation or not, but that's just me feel say budget no ebeko.
There are a lot of issues within the budget. We'll have a conversation around. Fati mentioned about taxes. And I think that even initially, when we started on our panel, you mentioned about some of the taxes and its impact. And it's very critical because consistently, your organizations and institutions that they are crying for a reduction in taxes. There is a hint Ura John Jinapo Edibetuja say a government is seeking to raise additional taxes, raise additional revenue through new taxes to a tune of about 11 billion Ghana cedis. We wait to see. But if new taxes are introduced, what will it mean on the taxpayer and what will it mean for our economy as a whole? Timo Boy or your tax expert and then on this particular issue. Mr. Boy, anope miamu achemu akwaba. Emra, happy morning to you so. Na mjiri se mpombo ko dear. First question will be, what have we not done right with our tax regime over the years?
I think since 2012, we analyze the trend now. We have not been doing very well in terms of the collection. The taxable entities now, So, of late, and I say, because you can see the enforcement, cost, but it seems it's a bit too late. We want to expand our tenterhooks to cover things like property taxes and the direct taxes. And there is a backlog we need to cover, and the people we intend to tax and also are not seeing what the revenue that we collect from taxes are being used for. So there is some form of resistance, especially in the informal sector. So there are some homework that we need to do before we get everything right.
What are these homeworks? I was it to me because you mentioned, say, it looks as if most of the times, the taxes we are targeting a particular group of individuals. And now these individuals have been complaining consistently, say, and now their taxes now, has it gotten to a point in time I will see it to me reinvent our targets and how are we even to do that?
So first of all, last President Emma speech be May Day, okay, say 2.4 million Ghanaians per any direct taxes our Ghana out of 30 potentially almost 17 million potential taxes and a population of over 31. The 2.4 million per NSO this one. So mostly, we come in the form of indirect tax, it is a e-levy. And Yakrana will push it. COVID levy. And Yakrana we are pushing it. VAT now increase it. The mix is not right because there's a limiter ubetimi are pushing indirect tax, especially if the GDP is not growing. You can't push it to some extent. Currently, people are saying that VAT is increasing, but it is increasing at a decreasing rate. I said, the nominal value no cost, but percentage-wise, and yeah, they are cost. So we need to get that mix right, and everybody needs to. We need a thorough research. Number two, the recent taxes now you're introducing here. Some of them are suffocating the business community now. They will generate the GDP for us to tax. And see, we introduce a lot of them at the same time. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be a gradual process. Your friends say excise duty, drinks now school. We've increased it almost 50%. That's a lot, and it takes very strong companies to absorb those shocks. PAYE, Yema so at 35%, yeah, the call. Yeah, free BB growth and sustainability levy. 2.5. Everybody. And see, at the end of the day, no, what they combine the effect of interest rate. Look at the amount of interest you pay. You combine it with inflation. You combine it with other goods and services that you use in the production system. We need to say electricity, water, if you are not a very serious business-minded person to manage the situation, you will end up laying people off. And see, the policies, sometimes, I say, yeah, they don't really match very well. And there's some form of inconsistency. What your friend is saying, benchmark values, discount values, I implement here.
Yeah.
Say you're rolling out, okay, and let's bring it back. But then now we have lost over 10 billion according to GRA. So it is the policy inconsistencies. I say, yes, we put things in order. And above all, let's now identify using data. We need to make use of data. Let's identify taxable entities within the economy, informal sector. People are selling properties, huge amount of money. What do you find? So be a what on be a best 100,000, what on be 200,000. What 100,000 I said, but baby, I'll tell you, we are just saying 100,000. I'll bet you attack. When you are crying 5%. We work on as I say, what on ya, nipa na for scanning in a call. What are we a Juman on our baby? Sika and Sika ye be here near the hospital near the road, one as a bed in a bed house. So at the end of the day, you feel say you are overtaxed. So it's a whole national issue. But I believe say with the coming of the IMF, they are now equipping us. Yes, we know say taxes is burdening us. They are saying say over Africa, the average tax to GDP ratio, I don't know, is the minimum leveler. You need it before you can say you are developing. If you don't reach 15% of your total output now, you are nowhere near possible developmental program.
But the last time that we checked, ours was 13%.
2021 put their call 14.1%. Meanwhile, Africa and 16%. Tunisia and 32%. Which means that those people are doing better. So they have been able to contribute kakra. By then, they are done nipa kakra become nipa. This one say so the most wata bokrana say ebi mo say na say omo nso ebia na kwakoda nipa ba konso na adenu bu ni komu. So we need some clear guidelines. For me, I've always been advocating say we need some clear guidelines on how we are going to share the national burden. The taxes are much, but I say endorse.
The taxes are much, but as a sikano yenya free munu na endorse.
And no, okay, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm funny say 2.4 million people are contributing to a particular tax. At the end of the day, no, one will say, "Bebre womo omo munti ashe." Nti akwa kotoka kredi so.
Jese nipa kitwa bi eneso eye adeswa no.
Aha, nipa kitwa bi neso adeswa nti kakra no omo so adeswa no mo complain. And the only way you bet me aye no say we will use the indirect form. Meaning you say e-levy by e ba be solve problem no. You say antimi anko bebia.
There be intimi solve a problem no.
Why? Because the informal sector do not transfer the money. And you no more transfer scam. Who are we juma no ne bia plumber bia ba be juma ma. Oye ya na wechianeka. Ya taxi wo, but because say you are in the formal sector now what transfer scam. The burden is still on you. Meanwhile, the person now you're targeting the same car or no obechiano or no send man and no akwa yi cash, no they are sending butum.
No correct.
Or the okwa spending. So at the end of the day, we miss the target. So we need to be more deliberate on who do we really want to tax, and that's why I make use of data.
So it's quite clear. It's quite clear. Say, we have not taken the time to actually think through and sana implementing because you've spoken about inconsistencies in tax policies diaba.
No correct, because who roll out benchmark discount policy. Now 1 year, 2 years down the line, now say I am suspending now. They need to say you didn't really look at the long-term effect. And in China, office say, oh, Masha say, let me bring it back. So we really need to look at it. For example, excise duty to 2 million. We should have done some research and note say, okay, this is going to be the impact on the people, and that's why consultation and engagement is clear. Yes, because they are the people affected. Did we consult them? How is it going to impact them? There's a general notion say everybody, we don't want to pay tax. I know they are not correct. But the question is, if you make me understand, I will pay. 1995, 94, 95. Okay, come precon demonstration.
Yes. Oh, brother VAT. Yeah,
VAT. Yeah, but the young country be I sorry, I approve. Yeah, the buy. I'm not for your demonstration. Kumas will be up to the shop, and I roll it in the back. So between 95 and 97, and I call you full engagement. You can say VAT in the BC. After the bar 98, I didn't deny. I deny up to this time. So we need a lot of engagement with the taxing properly. Sometimes policymakers and I again say the people will oppose it in the end, and they cry about the budget. We don't even know what type of taxes are coming. But the business community say next year, the taxes say but then they start planning and thinking through what the challenges are going to be, so that they can even tell government. At the end of the day, we meet a middle ground. What's my end two more? Maybe so. So maybe I'm here finance minister. Okay, my tax way, but you need to go with the aqua. You don't know if I. Now my business question. If you business question now, answer now the mama. I'm not quite confident. So what's my farm? Maybe so okay. It's a project to acquire we in Yaya and I. How do we do it? Now quite say bushia. Let's think about it. How do we do it for ourselves and for the generation to come?
Critical. So this actually needs a broader national conversation on how we have been planning and as we have been implementing our tax policies in the country. But yearning comment about your expectations for a net dear for for Kenufriata Edeboko to Jano. What will it mean to the just under 3 million individuals are one more mutia taxes say yede taxes ni bi ebesan ababe ka ho say womunsa intwe, because the information that we are gathering is that there is a possibility that the government is going to introduce additional taxes in the bid to reap and as a raking about 11 billion Ghana cedis. What would that mean to individuals who are paying tax? What would that mean to companies? What would that mean to the economy at large?
Yes, maybe wishes. And maybe wishing in the anchor, a buying should not introduce any new taxes, but yes, if wishes are not horses. And see, Sabri, it is possible, say, that we are going to see new taxes. The other thing I make us say, and almost sign a labor union for sign a base pay agreement.
Yes.
23%.
23%.
And no alone is going to give us around 10 billion Ghana cedis. Because we share 2023 now, compensation quite 44 billion. Into 23%, almost 11 billion on a minister no econo. Let's get back of him. Near the Abaya Foka. It is possible, fair. And our wish is looking at 2023, taxes now introduced the Breno. Afina is so key down. We wish no new taxes. We focus more on the enforcement. But the enforcement and the administrative measures may not bring in quick money. And it's likely say we are going to see new taxes. Because I say the combined effect of inflation, interest rates, and in the 2023 taxes in the United States impacting but I say since some new lines are coming in. What I would have recommended, say, to me, a minister, I don't have any option. And I would rather look at some form of environmental tax there, a bit to me, protecting the environment or solving a problem while raising revenue. For example, I have been advocating for plastic waste management tax. Ghana plastic waste, say in so ponegate. So can we take some measures to make it more expensive so that people will look for other means of packaging? So I won't be surprised, and I will be happy to some of those policies coming to solve a problem whilst raising revenue. Number two,
but
government.
Lawyer, sir, are you sanitation taxi?
Oh, sanitation tax, and then I say the bola. In fact, push the tax revenue now, sanitation tax, Edia Bana. Meaning, and soon be as sanitation tax now, Modia Bano. From January to your friend is saying August 2023. Oshe, how much has been raised now is not performing. As I get right, I say the budget now almost is behind almost 70 something percent. Difference. Oshe numbers now. Sanitation and pollution levy, actual raising is just around 312 million from January to August. Meanwhile, we're looking for 350 million, which means to say we have over 38 million. And I mean, these are millions. And see, I am looking for other tax line. Which means I solve the problem. And again, sanitation, we know. Are they really collecting the ballast? That's the point. And see, I'm looking for situations that are leading into changing attitude so that people will divert from the use of plastic to other recyclable materials. Number two, Nanan can make us a question here. Mostly, in tax policy in the government, so many options now. They look at where a lot of people are going. Now, tax and see, any one say treasury bills and saying a domestic exchange domestic tax exchange and I'm for be places to invest their money. So almost everybody is now going for treasury bill. Currently, the interest now individuals are buying and tax. From January to September, government has raised or more issue for the 91 days and then 182 days treasury bill. They've almost issued over close to 98 billion Ghana cedis. And also, what your interest of let's say 30% crowd was so because you says their interest treasury interest was so.
Was so, yes.
So, 30% was so crown, so we impose 1% on that interest. Now you have over 3 billion Ghana cedis. So, any one was a bamba can say, Chiakakrani and solve the problem. So, government do only many options available. They will look for opportunities where people are going a lot, no more slappy. Because over fuel, so say fuel, only now another task or two fuels, so they are here now at their samamba. So they will be looking for other avenues to raise additional revenue. But let's not be surprised. So we shouldn't be surprised because election year ever. And they have to fulfill a lot of the political promises for electoral benefit. And see, it's quite a very difficult time ahead for the minister. Let's see what he comes to tell us.
Of course, we'll see what he comes to tell us today. When he's done presenting the budget, we'll come back to you. Said a bit me an extensive analysis into if possible, a tax for Friday introduce you. Said they are Ghana for beating me to my man was a lawyer. Lawyer Timo Boy, a tax expert on now to say no change and come on happy 98.9 FM now to go out here in Jumadi and happy morning show. There is another conversation over why you better change and sana ye did Jumadi in Abanavi. My main cows in Uncle Ponduma. Friday we are Fiada be cooking competition. And it's sponsored by Tasty Tom. Young Comra.
Tired of roaming for your medications and can't find them? Sick and alone and can't get anyone to get your drugs? Do you need to talk to a pharmacist? Or do you feel uncomfortable when buying certain drugs from the pharmacy? Do you want your drugs to be delivered to you at the comfort of your own home or office? Then it's time to download the DrugNet app, spelled DRUGNET, from the Play Store or the App Store to enjoy total convenience. Use DrugNet, your #1 online pharmacy. For further inquiries on drug Drugnet, call 024 00 24455.
Baby, when you say happy mass wedding na you share with TV so na no. Real. After 2024 the end I'm kwaso.
Oh, abla. And then at the bia wu jam sumu with happy mass wedding. Uni baby. From your tree.
Me don't be a see. Share and friendship no ma many what champina wa sham ya wadi ho bono. D for the baby. Just imagine. Some white gown. Na me kita flowers. Na me to me baku walking down the aisle. Tan tan tan.
Hey, man, white wedding. Abna ma kachira win pembebre. Se me bob wesikano na me dia kwa koto Danquah siena. Ewo kroma se die beya. Obia betimi aka waze. Me nya krado se be kwa koye wedding kakaka bia o.
Eti we know how pa. We know how pa. Happy FM offer wedding package. Ye betimi aware na wasan so atoa wo dansie no so.
Hey za. Ma me nwene ho kakra.
Chamano. Hey, chairman bia chairman.
Oh, me dey jawa sem ne se de oba betumi kwa no. Kwa me ne be fa so a. Ye betimi de ho akwa akose Happy FM Valentine Mass wedding no mu.
Oh, koko kra. Ye betimi afre Happy FM aginchechemu ekwachire. E wa homa iso 0244 906 235 and I say 0302 254 858. Ye betimi so akọ omudanim e wo asylum down ya ko pick it forms.
Hey, any of you Happy FM Mass wedding there. Enya fedia gro crowd.
Happy Mass wedding. It's a wedding on another level. Don't
Our football fans wanted more, and Sport TV is here on a new HD Plus channel to give you football and more. See selected weekly fixtures from the EPL, Bundesliga, Serie A, Saudi Pro League, Spanish Super Cup, DFB Pokal, EFL, and so much more in HD quality pictures on Sport TV channel 152. The football you care about is here in HD. Subscribe for 12 months at 290 Ghana cedis only. Call 0242 439872 for more information. HD Plus. See it, feel it. Yamamwachio Niamamwakwaba. Eba Happy Morning Show. So, Ewo Happy 98.9 FM. Yamamwachio Niamamwakwaba. Eba Happy Morning Show. So, Ewo Happy 98.9 FM.
Mimi edreduane so dia ne mani age. Ewra papa Fati Shaibu-Ali kura nim me. Se me no eba ne chicken dia. Me ya chicken master. Na ayi baby ayanko no. Na nka me oma bia na so matum. Omatum.
I don't know.
Oh. Because the was exactly the Friday dinner at least na ya na ki tum pasa.
But we say that Friday in come.
But it's saying the Friday near. You try say you ska. You are showing money. You are showing money. It ready at this anime because the diane there the nipa DB. Na nyankopon me fia da djuma de be koso e wo Happy 98.9 FM for court. Me sere mo fam ho mechim cooking competition papa me ginam. Me chramu eye jollof men fama ni entudwa me di tudwa hwe amanfo ebewia na womo boy ye kire ye kire me djumadi na ebram ye tasty tom erade nyankopon tomatoes na dezo mama duane no aye mremremre sa no nkane na ka betwi o ayo no atamtapori na otwi me ma me wo se he e ma aba ne bi enkamu I say utwi ama bibia ye feko and it is Thomas Achirem. Eye Eronagri or your team lead, events and activations. Watanasi. Me and you ko kakra. Tasty top. One more so yasene Emia Debrum. Eron. Me am watching.
Mada souvenir.
Ne embombo go there.
Ya me adumo na so.
You could gram kakra. Adano ye share na mokoye yi no ma so ma anya yi o.
Ya den. Ya yi ne den. Ya na watch me kakra.
Yo, Martin.
Na we say enfan ko backstage.
Backstage any coded language. My kasa kakra about the Tasty Tom, but Tasty Tom and Nutri Foods Ghana Limited. Mona mo de buy. Bomb Nutri-Food.
Okay, so what kind of Nutri-Foods are company say Nutri-Foods, so 2 words English, nutritious food. What I say, nti yɛbɛka ne sɛ aduane nduro nti yɛ production anaasɛ manufacturing yɛyɛ ane sɛ aduane anaasɛ ade a wodi a aduane nduro ɛwɔ mu ɛno na yɛyɛ na Nutri-Foods ɛwɔ 2 divisions yɛwɔ snack ana biscuit division ɛna yɛwɔ yɛka ne sɛ culinary anaasɛ tomato amafota de frɛ no ɛno no 2 divisions ɛyɛwɔ na culinary no anaasɛ yɛyɛ tomato no yɛwɔ Tasty Tom originally na manfoɔ ankasa nim yɛbɛka ne sɛ that is the main brand ɛna Tasty Tom ankasa so asan awo other product so a ɛka ho nti sɛ woba ne Tasty Tom na ankasa yɛwɔ Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix that is the original one and sana yɛwɔ Tasty Tom jollof mix no so yɛde yɛ jollof ankasa and sana new one so as sɛ no so yɛde ba Tasty Tom onion pepper mix nti sɛ woka Tasty Tom anasa Nutri-Foods a nneɛma a yɛyɛ ɛno ni na yɛ product no nyinaa no so no yɛbɛka bruni bɛka no sɛ it is enriched with vitamins anaasɛ yɛde anuane duro ahyɛ ne ma
okay
nti ɛno no ade a
nti na kyerɛ sɛ wodi a ɛnyɛ sɛ wodi ne biara kɛkɛ saa because anɔpɛ yɛ ne yɛne Dr. Edi nkɔmmɔ na wɔka sɛ anuane a yɛ process ne deɛ kɛkɛ ka ho no na kyerɛ sɛ mo deɛ da nso
yes te sɛ na America no so ade baako a sɛ yɛka uniqueness a te sɛ wɔka no ɛwɔ twi kasa no yɛde ade ma yɛ da nso a no ɛne ne sɛ sɛ woba Ghana ha tomato mix a yɛka sɛ yɛde nnuane nduro ɛde fry first ɛwɔ Ghana Tasty Tom
okay
ɛna yɛka ne sɛn so woka ne nnuane nduro no a yɛde vitamin A Bruni say is good for eyesight ɛboa w'ani ɛma wotumi hu adeɛ yie yɛwɔ vitamin D ɛno so yɛ good ɛma yɛka ne sɛ wodompe mu ɛyɛ den yɛwɔ vitamin E and K ɛno so ɛboa wo yɛka ne sɛn wo body no ɛma ni tumi fight yarewa ansa na fiber anaasɛ ntɛtɛ a yɛde afra nti wei nyinaa ne ade a sɛ wodi Tasty Tom a ɛboa wo body no ɛma no tumi nya apɔmuden nya ahoɔden kama nti ɛnyɛ sɛ wokɔ market a na wakɔtɔ tomato mix anaasɛ tomato paste biara wokɔ a wosɛ wopɛ Tasty Tom because ɛno na ahoɔden ne nnuane duro ɛwɔ mu
Omo nto Tasty Tom da no mesrɛ wokɔ dwuma kɔ na kɔtɔ Tasty Tom na adansedi a medi fa ho no onso ba be dibi ɛwɔ ɛyɛ dwumadie no so one of these days na my hunu Tasty Tom deɛ ne me deɛ me adeɛ ba ko ada bia me de me Tasty Tom ɛyɛ me jollof me kwasi da jollof oba me fia obi anim sɛ kwasi da jollof de me na me yɛ na adeɛ ba ko ɛboa me ɛma me tumi yɛ jollof no me tuhwa ada no me yɛ me tuhwa na then be a bam me 3 story na papa bi otesoro ye me nyonko no busa say bra we Tasty Tom jollof na ready I'm saying ready apart from a jollof ni stew idea no Tasty Tom dey bi me bitimi asande
okay so you better the original Tasty Tom and enriched tomato nankasa and no say oh yeah tomato eduane bia and no dey obetimi afọ no say jollof so and na say obe hwehwe Tasty Tom jollof mix. Tasty Tom jollof mix and ya need to say gravy. I would to me the jollof and no you can say onion ewum beka jenny tomato garlic ginger and curry and the afra. Into one shada in here spices bia so we will be a one gas one per spices already na ya mix yamo. So whilst we will be a per spices wa ube to me edibia ka ho. Na wankasa sene wankasa openo for instance ebu ope moko bebre obi so ompe kra nti wa sene wa obe mixe ema afa no na wa wodia na ansa na yewo kan say Tasty Tom onion pepper mix no eno no so jeni intus ene meku na de afra nti eno no say nkwan yo say stew eno ane say na wa hwehwe Tasty Tom onion pepper mix nti difference kakra ewo mu no nti se na me kan no say me say si wo de na wo se wo pe no a jollof mix na nkasa so a so jollof ne ya na simple amount nti within 45 minutes so wunya all these ingredients wunya wunsuo wunya we kan say wo mo a 45 minutes jollof na ready so wo ku ejuma na wo pentem a 45 minutes I ready by the time wo sorry film pass what we see so na wo de why bibie wie wo de ko dwaye na be se water wo be na ready so wo pentem so na bia wo ko school wo ko exams wo ko so de why late for students no and also so by 45 minutes na ready nti unhia sa afi na wo ko tri bibia I say wo ko twitwa wo ko tri those things ye yi ni nyina e free wo preko nti jollof in less than 45 minutes and one tasty Tom jollof mix.
Jollof in less than 45 minutes and one tasty Tom jollof mix. Happy 98.9 FM now so good sorting. But intina mo ya imagine say mo soya sene me celebrity member cooking competition. Na cooking competition then get man but on Friday.
Exactly.
Friday member na
Exactly. Okay, so Friday International Men's Day. As usual, day the celebrity Mbema. So what shall say do International Women's Day? Did they work room hano? And yet the decades one. But why what shall me so International Men's Day could be crowned tea crowd
you, bra.
Until that, oh, you so say my movie or Tim and Chen could be says and look any day. I say, I don't want to crowd. What's that we in
that no grounds here in birthday.
Okay, what's a crowd we in Sanet, Madame Fubin was saying, Bema de Bebre. Oh, but I am Bardia, while she am divertica creepy. She senia breast cancer, you soon.
Yes.
But would you be say prostate cancer, Sani, you soon. Inti a good say, ye celebrity in Bema, because a mema a bomb body. In him say, fine, do baby issues cacao. Challenges and Bema Fabiani at Adiase, Ubia and Tiase. Inti yedi celebrity in Bema no Happy FM so I say, one per se between themselves and one cooking competition. No. Definitely, we have been partners for a long time. Definitely, as partners, we support each other. Inti definitely some more cooking competition there. Okay, and because not all radio stations are doing something on that day. So definitely, we need to accord a respect to Happy FM for such an initiative. Inti member na ochna Friday mobile be cooking competition. Yamamu nyina mu yamembe mani nyina tinkwa. Samaya ade especially here so usually abeka say be na eduane dia senke yoba. But Bema su di eduane. And Bema su wi su ye eduane. Ofa for instance Ghana Chefs Association. We are one of our partners. And Mema Bibri definitely. Inti say such a day dia na dia yin na yambo na celebrity. Inti na yebeka ne say Mema na musumo be cooking no. Meka ne say montre say men to day form in the kitchen.
Yeah. Most tio. Aaron say Mema na Nyankopon ma Friday. Mo be aduane. In the cooking competition, because so Happy 98.9 FM, your forecourt no. Montre say men 2-day form in the kitchen. Men 2-day form in the kitchen. Aaron, me and your final words. Then fan go to and run away.
So final words, Yabeka say, Sisia no senia we are sene corner, and I say Ghana corner. In your mumu din. So who could you ma? And yeah, those times, so one city and now do could you ma and one city near to encan no nya na eto nti se wo be ye aduane a na se wo koku dwuma eno ane se to papa na preko to ade akoye quality na esanso ema apomodin nti eno ani tasty tom nti to na wo fa ye weduane nti e ka se tasty tom wo fa kakra na ye bebre nti eno ani me de beji amanfo
Aaron me na wase Aaron from Nutri Foods na wono na wohwe ema activations ekoso tasty tom de kiremba bia fio na
we dey mensu eno ani say Friday dey say bibia beba nti definitely mensu kra unhia say obehu me fi
Friday you be say sia ma me no bibia say yapon assembly ya sembo for eye ohene bampo brenya ene na pamfoma ya krado se wo mu de happy sports brain mamemfa enase kakraka enase chinchirinche enase tantala butele emfama Rababa Fati Shaibu-Ali Prince Obiba Poakwa mamemfa enase chinchirinche emfama Kofi Asamoah wosofo ba akopa oye Rasta o Ghana ha na memfa enase emfa nkoma ora Isaac Adai wono NFA my produce show yi emedi bremo me medi dwumedi no chia me efrem kwa Joseph Danquah enase kakraka pamfa nkoma mo hwe live on Facebook dane da nyina mudi akiri yemfa na ase yemfa nkoma mo se de be ya dane da nyina mbeto akoso na mo edi akiri na maboa yen nyankopon mo china between the hours of 5:30 am any 9 p.m. 9 a.m. and then the p.m. mo 9 a.m. the happy morning show, another edition ebebre etiefo NI4 that will be after Futosanfo Kenfriata what day yen and do the same effort wo manyi yakoma ba hunse matudwa no. We'll take time to digest the matters what day etudwa nsem odi tudwa nyina no ye de ebibi mu apensempensem mo so ubenya akunya akyere wa adwene e wonsem no ya sorry so happy sports is up next.